Charlotte Flair teases a WWE return. Plus, top AEW stars could be leaving the company next year. And future plans for an Impact Wrestling title have been exclusively revealed to Cultaholic. It's all in the wrestling news right now. The Queen's coming back. Get the good crockery out quick. For better or for worse, whether you love her or hate her, no doubt by this point you've already put angry emojis in the comments. Charlotte Flair has been teasing a return to WWE programming.
Although, on the other hand, she's been gone for a while. I think maybe there'll be an initial surge of goodwill for her, should she appear soon. Oh. Why do we think she's going to appear soon, though?
Well, in the last 24 hours, she's been busy on the gram, on the Instagram, sharing posts of her entrances to WWE matches, notably wearing the SmackDown Women's title for quite a few of them. I mean, obviously the color aesthetic's quite nice. Yeah, I kind of get why. But the last post in this series of Instagram posts on her story is a black and white image of Charlotte Flair's legs with tights on, wearing the boots, and she seems to be sitting on the canvas, which would lead many to believe that there's some wrestling training going on ahead of a return.
Now, Dave Meltzer did recently report, I believe, that Charlotte was going to return, or could possibly return soon, which led me to think she was going to return at Survivor Series War Games, but she didn't. But now this update seems to imply that it could be coming soon.
There was another reported return around August, where there was, I think, some local advertising that said that Charlotte would be on SmackDown, but then that didn't happen. I think it was around the same time that Vince stepped down and Triple H took control.
Yeah. So much stuff going on.
There was a lot of noise at that point. I think it got put to one side. But initially, she took time off to go and tie the knot, take an extended break, and I think she's at really any point now ready to come back.
It says here, and I didn't realize it had been this long, we haven't seen Charlotte on TV or on a WWE TV since WrestleMania Backlash.
It's been a while.
Where she lost an I Quit match to Ronda. How did she quit? I don't remember.
She said, I quit.
Charlotte would never say I quit. I really can't visualize it.
She did. I'm pretty sure.
No, fair enough.
She was in a really rough submission hold. Where,
yes. No, I do remember. Yeah.
Bent all like a, she looked like a Tina Turner concert. Sorry, a concertina.
Yes. I knew I could. My brain was halfway there. I got it.
So, yeah, well, again, for better or for worse, Charlotte Flair coming back. I know there'll be some strong opinions on her both ways.
I really thought you meant because Tina Turner likes to talk. I was like, oh. That's honestly, I think, what my brain told me.
It's an old Reeves and Mortimer gag, that is. I thought I'd unearth for today.
She does, though, kind of walk like she's been in a match with Ronda Rousey.
Private dancer.
She's got some great songs as Tina.
Oh, she's got some great legs as well as Tina Turner.
I've not been to my granddad's for a while, but apparently he's got a new kitten called Tina. I think that's a lovely name for a cat. It's not a joke. I just thought I'd volunteer that information.
I was going to say, I think I went to my granddad's in a while and I caught him dancing to Private Dancer.
No, he was more of a...
We don't need another hero.
He was more into like the Kinks and that, I think, back in the day. You might like Tina, who knows?
She did name the Thunderdome, bless her. Let's move, actually, staying with SmackDown, right? There's another WWE star that's teasing potentially, well, WWE are teasing this more than they are, aren't they? So what's the story with this one?
So the tease is that possibly, basically, well, I feel like you've put the clues together here and it's very valid as well, is that we've got a lot of World Cup kind of content coming out from WWE at the minute because the real life World Cup's on.
England going to win, apparently.
We've got a lot of WWE superstars in their team strips that was posted by WWE, like a photo shoot where, you know the kind of thing I'm talking about, where they'll get the wrestlers to wear certain kits and that sort of thing. The Canada guy was Robert Roode, which is interesting, or Bobby Roode, which is interesting because we've not seen him since, I don't think he's wrestled since June. A house show against maybe Omos.
These photos were taken backstage recently at Raw and SmackDown, and Robert Roode looks in fine form, wearing a Canada strip. Now, not the best of news for Canada, who crashed out of the World Cup, I believe.
They did. They put up a good, well done.
Well done, Canada. But I believe this very much signals that Robert Roode, post-surgery, is ready to come back to SmackDown. We'd already heard about he had been to Birmingham, Alabama to get some surgery done in September.
Yeah.
And there was some talk through numerous sources that he was going to be moved to the SmackDown brand.
And as well, I'm just thinking there, Robert or Bobby Roode, whichever one he's going to return as, he could be someone who really benefits from the change in regime from Vince to Triple H, because Triple H seemed to be quite a big fan of Bobby Roode. He was NXT champion. They also had a stare down in a Survivor Series match once in maybe 2017.
Triple H loves Bobby Roode.
I remember the stare down But the point of it just seemed to be like, they look quite similar. I was like, oh, they look the same.
I think Triple H was going, hey, this is a moment in it, everybody. And they're like, yeah.
Yeah, I guess so.
No, but it's a real moment. Like, passing of the torch. No, it's not. You just pedigreed him.
It could prove to be, though, now, if Triple H books him well. But Bobby Roode as well is deceptively like a bit older than you think, because he's in such good shape and he looks great. But he's actually, I mean, he was Impact champion 10 years ago or so.
Yeah, so he's been around for a while. Time is of the essence if we want to get Bobby to the top.
Come on.
See how we do. From coming back to going away, Fightful Select had a chat with Dax Harwood, or Sean Fightful from rossap.net had a chat with him. And Dax said that their AEW contracts, he believes, are up at the end of April, and he and Cash Wheeler are evaluating their options. One of those options being to step away from AEW with love, peace out, and go and explore the indie scene for a year and just do stuff that they want to do
in a bit of a Cody Rhodes fashion. Maybe
Yeah.
that would be class. I really enjoy that.
It's great, isn't it?
Yes, North Wrestling, book FTR, please. If they do that, I'm sure they'll be cheap as chips.
I'm sure they'll do you a deal, 2 for 1 or something. But they say that having the opportunity to work more indies and various companies have led them to find out how much they love that landscape. They have done a few bits outside of AEW, whilst a big part of what they do at the moment is get annoyed about not being booked on AEW.
They came out on the New Japan show and were saying like, book us, Tony, we're here. That was whoa.
They might just take matters of their own. I'm pretty sure that if FTR decided we're going to hit the indies, book us, they'd fill that diary pretty quick.
Yeah, I think they've been quite high demand.
They wouldn't be short of work, I don't think.
What a banner year they've had.
Oh gosh, yeah, they pretty much won all the belts all the time.
The Young Bucks are scared of them. Run off to the trios division.
They need to grow a third FTR just to come after them.
Yeah, they do.
like in Weird Science.
Here's the third one.
It's a hot blonde lady.
Oh, right, okay. I was going to say Brax Blarwood.
But we'll call her Brax Blarwood.
Yeah, okay.
It's a hot blonde lady called Brax Blarwood.
She's going to batter Kenny Omega.
Let's talk about Brian Kendrick for a brief minute, because he was backstage at Survivor Series, and we kind of know why now, and we know what his status is.
So, from what I understand, was it the Wrestling Observer who reported? Yes, on Wrestling Observer Radio, they talked about how Ronda Rousey requested that Brian Kendrick be brought back for Survivor Series to be a producer in one of the matches. I'm assuming her match.
Yes, it was indeed.
I see. Well, that caused a bit of controversy online because of the way that Brian Kendrick exited the company and he'd said some very controversial things in the past, and they came to light. So yeah, what's the update now?
As it happens, this was not a new hire by WWE. This is what we've gleaned from Fightful Select and from Wrestling Observer, that Brian Kendrick was brought in as a sort of one-off because Ronda Rousey requested him for this match, and he and Jason Jordan helped produce that match with them, with Ronda and Shotzi, for better or for worse, and it was as a favour to Ronda, because as you say, Brian Kendrick was one of those that trained Ronda Rousey.
Okay.
So it was as a favour. Okay. Wasn't considered a tryout, wasn't considered a new hire. Fightful Select say that Brian Kendrick was nowhere near Monday Night Raw last night, and that might have just been a one and done for Brian Kendrick, essentially, just to get them over the line for that particular match. Maybe it's just to see sort of where things are at with him. I wouldn't be shocked if WWE hire him back. I really wouldn't.
Yeah.
But no contract has been offered as far as sources that we have heard from.
Well, fair enough.
Talking of contracts, Joe Hendry.
Say his name.
And he'll appear. And he will appear in a moment. Joe Hendry signing with Impact Wrestling. Just a few weeks back we reported this. He became the digital media champion as well. Congratulations to Joe Hendry. And I had a chat with him yesterday, and we talked about what his plans are as Impact Wrestling Digital Media Champion and sort of what his status is. Now, he told me that he is still living in the UK, he's still based here, and he's doing select indie dates. So he's still, whilst he's part of Impact, he's still doing the odd indie here and there. One of those indies that he is doing is this Friday, North Wrestling in Newcastle. And he gave us a little exclusive on what we could expect from Joe Hendry, the Impact Wrestling Digital Media Champion, on Friday. North Wrestling somewhere I have a very special place in my heart. We're seeing you Friday at Anarchy Brewery in Newcastle. I get the honour of announcing you to the ring once again and calling your match as well. And I do believe that you and I spoke about this, and we're going to call a little audible
I think we are.
on your match this Friday, aren't we, Joe?
Yes.
Let's have it. Let's
Yes.
do it. Let's do it.
I will be defending the Impact Wrestling Digital Media Championship for what I believe might be the first time in the UK, unless I don't know if Cardona did in the UK when he was last here. He might well have done, but we'll just focus on mine.
Well, it's your first defense.
Yeah, exactly. It's my first. That's exactly. So yeah, just defended it in Poland. That was awesome. And yeah, so now taking it to North Wrestling on Friday. So looking forward to it.
So a quick note for Andrew Bowers: Joe Hendry has agreed, and is Scott Demore all right with this, by the way?
He is. I did ask.
Okay, that's fine.
He's cool with it.
That's cool.
Yeah,
that's cool.
Let's not get me fired. Yeah.
But you have heard it here. Joe Hendry will defend the Impact Wrestling Digital Media Championship this Friday in Newcastle at Anarchy Brewery.
Cultaholic exclusivo.
Oh, I believe in Joe Hendry.
Joe Hendry will defend the Digital Media Championship this Friday at Anarchy Brewery.
Fantastic stuff.
I'm excited for that.
I'm excited.
I get to call an Impact match.
I'm going to try not to be drunk at this one.
I think you should be drunk at
No,
this one.
so I need to catch up on the last one, right? And apparently it opens with like fan footage and stuff of people being interviewed. And I'm really early on. Me drunk and Matthew next to me just like, hello. I wish they hadn't used that.
You can watch it on North Wrestling's Patreon. It's a whole card that includes Effie versus Rory Coyle, which is going to be one heck of a match, I do believe. And it's going to feature Joe Hendry defending the Impact Wrestling Digital Media Championship, as well as loads of other great stuff from North Wrestling.
And it's going to feature Tom Campbell on commentary as well.
It will be my dulcet tones on commentary and ring announcing and probably, taking money at the door as well. Why not? I'll do all three. Are you twitching today? It's a Wednesday, isn't it?
I am twitching today with Owen Mawson, twitch.tv/Cultaholic from 6 p.m. GMT. Up the Fabes. It's Cultaholic FC and all that good stuff.
Have you moved over to the new football manager?
Yeah, and it's actually... I'm suspicious that Owen's boosted our stats behind the scenes somehow. He claims he hasn't, but we're winning a lot. Come on! It's coming home.
Quite literally up the Fabes.
Up the Fabes.
Twitch.tv/Cultaholic from 6 p.m. Greenwich Mean Time. And the latest wrestling news throughout the day you can find at cultaholic.com. Stay safe and love you, bye.